Hello, everybody. Good evening. Rose here. Tonight, I am condensing 3 of Chantal's live streams into one React video. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I've looked at all 3 lives, and there's not a whole lot of reacting to the live streams to react to. So I'm going to react to small portions of the lives if there's anything to react to, and just focus on the comments section. There's really no sense in making 3 separate React videos if there's not a whole lot going on in Chantopolis. To sum everything up, pretty much how she has spent today is being completely high out of her mind. You can tell that she's high because her pupils are blasted. Her eyes are so blasted that her eyes look nearly black. She didn't do a whole lot of interesting things today. I'm just going to pick out the small portions of the lives, focus on the comment sections, and call it a day. But we are doing the condensed, gather it all together kind of thing for this React video. So before we get started, let me just go ahead and I've got Discord up. I'm going to go ahead and silence that for a minute because I don't want the notification sounds in the video. Some of you have said you don't like the sounds, and I understand. It's kind of distracting. Not the fault of the people that are on Discord. They don't know. They don't know. All right, so let me just go ahead and pull up the screen so you guys can see. And there's Chantal. So let's start with the first live stream that she did today that I was taking a nap and I didn't catch. So in this video, this live stream, she shows off a bunch of female personal care products, a lot of Vagisil products, and I got some thoughts on that. As a woman, saying to her, another woman, you know, when it comes to your female parts, Chantal, as long as you keep them clean, they pretty much clean themselves. You don't need a whole lot of chemicals or perfumes or anything. As a matter of fact, too many chemicals and perfumes and such for that area will actually cause infection and cause problems. But Chantal has stocked up on feminine care products and perfumes and sprays. And without sounding rude, if you are someone like Chantal and you are so against feminine hygiene, if you're so against taking a shower, thinking that perfumes and chemicals and flowery scented anything is going to cover up any kind of smell or disguise any kind of problem, you got another thing coming. Because the best thing to do is take care of things properly down there, and you won't have to work so hard and buy so many things to cover up any offensive scent or cover up any infection. But let's just go ahead and see what she bought today for her little female care haul.
Sorry. Yes.
You know, she always makes a point to take the perfume and spray it everywhere. She takes a bath in perfume. Chantal, I know you like to think that perfume is a good substitute for a bath, but it's not, because the perfume can only do so much. Most cheap body sprays are made out of alcohol. The main base is alcohol, and whatever scent you put on is going to fade off. But you're not spraying your entire body, you're spraying just portions of your body. What about the rest of you that is unclean? It's going to smell and it's still going to be dirty. You know, taking a simple shower will fix any issues with smelling sweaty and dirty. Thinking you can just take a bath in body spray or perfume is not going to do it. And quite honestly, if you're aiming that spray at your lady parts, well, that's just bad for your lady parts.
And
yeah, that's so not normal. Being a woman and carrying around a big thing of Vagisil in your purse, this is not normal, Chantal. It's just not. Do you carry that in your purse for intimate occasions around natter that you can quickly bathe the area thinking that's going to disguise the smell? Can I say this without sounding rude or vulgar? If you have a bacterial infection, that cleanser isn't going to do anything because you're still going to smell there.
so I have every product that Vagisil has out available. Vagisil. Vagisil. I don't think I'm going to use this purse. I think I'm going to switch purses.
More body spray.
Put an extra layer of protection.
No, it's not an extra layer of protection. It's just you trying to cover up the fact that you don't bathe properly. I'm going to say this delicately. If you are a woman of a much bigger size, then you've got to spend a little extra time in the shower cleaning all the parts of you that maybe the water can't get to, like all the underneath folds and creases and things, because sweat and dirt and dead skin will collect there and it will start to smell, especially if you haven't bathed in more than a day. You can't go without a shower. And here's what I find interesting. You don't like the fact that Natter is around Dee Dee, but notice Dee Dee takes a shower. She takes care of her hygiene. Maybe that's why he likes spending time around Dee Dee and not you, because you're so against doing simple human things to be clean and not smell or be offensive. I just find that weird that you want this man so badly, and yet you will not do something as simple as take a shower every day, make sure that you're wearing clean clothes, doing your laundry, cleaning your house, these things that you know that's important to him. It almost makes me think that despite appearances that you say you want Natter, you must not want him that badly, or you would do these simple, common things that the rest of us do. And by the way, Chantal, I'm a woman. I don't need 1,000 products of Vagisil and sprays for my female parts to smell normal. They just smell normal. You want to know why? Because I take care of myself and I do simple hygiene. The body usually takes care of itself. It doesn't need all those medicines and perfumes and chemicals. You only need that stuff when you're trying to cover something up that shouldn't be there.
I don't have time to shower just now, so.
You all what? Wait a minute. What do you mean you don't have the time to take a shower? Madam, you have all the time in the world. You sat there and did this live stream for an hour. You could have taken a shower. A shower takes what, 15, 20 minutes? If you can sit there and do a 6-hour live stream, why can't you take a simple 15 to 20-minute shower and use some soap and water? Don't say that. You don't have time to take a shower. You don't have 2 jobs that you have to work. This is your job. You got time to take a shower, madam.
I love cloud, but today I feel like using raspberry. Yeah. I'm going to put some gloss. Let's put some earrings.
So Ocean says she just had a shower. Did you see all those wet wipes? And now she's putting perfume on. Listen, if you're taking a shower, what do you need the wet wipes for? You're using the wet wipes when you're not taking a shower, when you're trying to use perfume and wet wipes as a substitute for bathing. And as I said, the perfume, the wet wipes, you can't reach, it can't reach all those parts of yourself. So you're spraying the front of your body. What about your back? What about the back of your legs? What about the rest of you? The perfume and the wet wipes can only do so much.
Shower, did you see all the perfume? Yeah, I'm going to shower when I get home.
Why not do it now if you're going out?
I showered yesterday.
Again, how can I say this nicely? I'm gonna give it a try. And this is not me fat shaming. If you're someone of a bigger size, that usually means you're going to sweat more, and you need to be more on top of your hygiene. Because if you are of a bigger size, you've got those folds, you've got those creases, you got to take care of. If you're not careful, you can get skin infections, you can get all kinds of things wrong. You've got to take care of that, or it can lead to serious problems. Foodie Beauty is a diabetic, which means that any wounds that she gets are very slow to heal. By not taking care of her hygiene, this can open up to all kinds of skin infections and rashes and whatnot, and it can land her in the hospital.
And then, I mean, I'm pretty fresh.
No, you're
With all
not.
the Vagisil products, I just refresh. And then I don't have time to shower right now and get all ready. So I'm gonna shower. When I get home, get ready. Or maybe I'll shower later, I don't know. Because I'm gonna clean. I don't like to get clean to get dirty.
When do you ever clean?
Clean underwear, Vagisil products, you're good to go. I'll reserve these.
Okay, so that's enough for her Vagisil haul. We don't need to see any more. Let's go down to the comments. Laura Land says, I love when Chantal says, I don't want to lie to you, blaming her audience for her need to lie, the ultimate in narcissism. She says she doesn't want to lie to us, but she does. She and Natter like to play this game with people because they tend to think they're smarter than everybody else. And Chantal likes to play it up in her head that she's got one up on everybody, that she's such a good liar that people will believe her. And the thing she's not understanding is that people don't believe her anymore. They don't believe her anymore. And the proof of that is in the fact that she's not getting the super chats that she used to. Her income has gone down. If people were believing her, she wouldn't be losing money. Summer Flowers says, you know what works wonders for personal hygiene? A shower, clean underwear, and clean clothes every day. And while you're at it, grab that toothbrush at least twice a day. Goals. Exactly. It doesn't take much to be clean. Just wash your clothes, wash yourself, wear the clean clothes, brush your teeth. You're good to go. Spending all that money for Vagisil stuff that is so unnecessary if you just take care of yourself. You just take care of yourself. Sabrina N says, I don't have time to shower and sprays all kinds of sprays. Pardon me. Thinking that will make her smell okay. Listen, Linda, that's like spraying perfume on poop. Will you still smell the poop? I don't know. Logically, I would say the poop would still come out as the first note. Well, as I've said, most of what she's putting on are body sprays. The base of most of those body sprays is alcohol, and the alcohol burns off really quickly, and the scent does not last that long. So, as far as scent, if she's looking for a scent that will linger longer, she's going to have to go for actual perfume, which has oil, which carries the scent and keeps it going. But she goes for those cheap body sprays, and they last for all of like 15, 20 minutes. And then after that 15 minutes, you start to smell again if you're stinky underneath. Suzanne Sylvia says, who are you going to blame now? Looks like more gaslighting is all you have left. You don't just like, you are a lie. Well, you know what, y'all? As I've said in my videos that I posted yesterday, Chantal's a grifter as much as Natter, if not more. And the fact that she's come forward and she confessed that she exaggerated the essay claims, which I knew she did. I knew. I've been through essay and DV just by watching and listening to her all this time. I knew she exaggerated. I knew she lied just by her behavior and the things she was saying. I knew it. But she came out and admitted she exaggerated it. She's vile and disgusting. She is. To use that for a story arc to make thousands of dollars, she's vile. And Chantal, I don't know if you'll ever see my react video, but I'm going to let everybody know at every opportunity what a grifter you are, what a con artist you are. A lot of VIPs are still seeing half the picture. They think, oh, Natter's the bad one. He's the grifter. He's the con artist. I'm going to make sure they know the full picture, that you're a grifter too, that you're a liar, a manipulator, and that you'll do whatever you have to do for money. You don't care how immoral it might be, how wrong. You're just as bad as he is, if not worse. I'm going to keep pointing it out, and I'm going to keep waking people up in my own way. And I hope that it does wake people up to the fact that you're a grifter as much as he is. I'm going to keep saying it until either you come clean or something happens. Melanie's Scarlet Rusty says, girl, I tried that chocolate cold brew a couple of days ago, and it was the sweetest coffee I have ever had, and I had to throw it out. What are you on that you say it isn't sweet? Well, I like cold brew coffee. I love cold brew coffee. As a matter of fact, I make my own, and you can do that. And it's really simple. For anybody that's a cold brew coffee enthusiast, all you need is a big mason jar. You need like a little coffee sock. You know, it looks like a little pouch bag thing. You can get those from Amazon. You put a certain amount of coffee grounds in it. You secure the bag up. You drop it in the mason jar. You fill it full of cold water. You leave the mason jar water coffee thing in the fridge for about a day or 2 days, depending on how strong you want to be. You got your own cold brew. I do it that way because I got a very sensitive stomach when it comes to coffee acid. And with the cold brew process, you get less of the acid in your coffee, which doesn't irritate your stomach so much. And it does make the coffee sweeter. It brings out more of the flavor, especially with, say, hazelnut coffee. That's always delicious. You don't even need sugar for that. But the reason why Chantal is saying it's not sweet enough is because she's gotten so used to getting those really, really sweet Starbucks coffee drinks with several extra pumps of sugary syrup. That's why she doesn't think it's sweet, because she's used to her drinks being loaded, loaded, loaded with sugar. Carolina says, so now it's all about vaginal health since they're back together stronger than ever. Oh yeah, because Natter's not going to put up with her lady parts stinking. He's not going to put up with that. It's nasty. I don't blame him. But again, if she took a shower and washed herself, she wouldn't have to carry all that stuff in her purse. When you're carrying all that stuff in your purse as a woman, you're doing it wrong, or you're not doing it at all. Let's see. Fairy Bong Mother says, good things come to those who wait. Once a narc a-hole, always a narc a-hole. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Someone who won't publicly claim you. Someone who clearly uses you. Someone who has a girl with gray flaps, but you're on the side. It's both of them taking from you your money, dignity, and spark. Just remember that. I'm sure the cons outweigh the pros when it comes to stabby. I think you're with your head and not with your heart. You know what, Fairy Bong Mother, I'm sure your heart's in the right place, but understand that talking to Chantal is like talking to a brick wall. She does not want to hear you. She doesn't want advice. She's not looking to change herself or be better. She's stuck in her own little universe dimension where she's in the right. She's always right, and nobody can tell her different. But bless your heart for trying. But people like that, there's no use trying if they're not willing to hear. Chrissy Knows It All says, now she is back to dropping his name 327 times in any live stream. I love that for her. Even lying about being essayed by him too. I'm not shocked at all. I hope they get married. I want them to get married. I want them to be together and be miserable together. And I want them to live stream the whole thing. That will be amazing content for us reactors. It's certainly better than her getting on live stream, eating her Nashies, and getting high. You know, let them live stream the fights and the arguments. I'm here for it. Let's see. Moonlit Honey says, you better not come on here with, what did I lie about? Huh? Name one thing, because we've added to your list. She's lied about everything. Chantal lies. If she's talking, if she's breathing, she's lying. Everybody knows that. We all know that. Karen says, who takes off their underwear, gets stressed, sprays perfume, etc., and doesn't even shower? I haven't got time to shower. WTF. You have nothing but time. I can't anymore. She's unbelievable. You know, let her go on with this bad hygiene. And let her go on crying that Natter won't claim her. One day she'll get it. Or if she doesn't, she'll be miserable forever. If she can't figure out that just simple hygiene is important, at least it's important to him, that he's not going to put up with a stinky, nasty female, she's a lost cause. One day she might wake up to that fact, though. Party, yes, says Koki has ruined her. Physically, morally, financially, emotionally, she has no dignity left. You know what, Party? Everybody says that everything is Natter's fault. Again, those of you that are VIPs and supporters of Chantal, I think you guys are so fixated on Chantal. You're so fixated in giving her support that because you care about her, they say there's an old saying, love is blind. And obviously you guys really care about Chantal. But because you care about her so much, you refuse to see the other side of the picture. Chantal was ruining herself even before Natter came along. She was still gluttonous. She was still catering to the feeders. She was still doing outrageous things for her channel before he came along. Natter got added to the mix to keep the drama going, to keep the money going. He's not good for her. I will agree there. But don't get it twisted. This woman was not, plain Jane in Idaho, innocent, and got ruined by a bad man. She was a bad person before she got on YouTube. Okay? And she just got worse because she's greedy for the money. Her greed for money has taken over her life. It's taken over her live streams. She's just that greedy. And she won't get her head out of her butt and fix it. So it's not just Natter. We're talking about two awful people who happen to meet up with each other. They locked horns, and all of us on YouTube have been forced to watch all of this toxic, ridiculous drama. But don't count out Chantal as not being the reason why she's miserable. She created her own misery even before Natter even showed his face. Oops, skipped up. Hold on. Jack Douglas says, so last night you told the world that you lied about the DV. Now today you're laughing and joking as if that's okay. Actually take some accountability. She never will. She'll get defensive and say, well, I'm not, an advocate for DV. Oh, no, you're not an advocate for DV victims, Chantal. But you're very happy to exploit them for money whenever possible and play on people's pain and suffering and bad memories. You've done that multiple times in the past. Doug says, if you keep having problems with your kitty cat, then something is wrong inside. Women's VJs are not made to be washed with concoctions. You need to detox and do intermittent fasting to push all the toxins out. She'll never do that. I think part of Chantal's problem, and I'm going to say this delicately for all the men who might be watching and listening. I won't get gross. I won't get vulgar. I promise. Just an observation as a woman. I have found that if you're a woman with some females, if you consume too much dairy products like, say, milk or cheese, or too much sugar or too much caffeine, it can lead to UTIs and, forgive me, gentlemen, yeast infections. Because there's, your body responds to the things that you're eating and you're drinking, and it throws the bacteria off, and then everything goes out of whack. But Chantal consumes massive amounts of sugar every day, coffee. Coffee is very acidic. that can affect the female system. That can lead to bladder infections, UTIs, all that. And here she is. She's probably got a BV, and she's using all that perfume to cover it up. There's only one way to deal with a BV. You have to go to a doctor and get antibiotics. There's no over-the-counter anything for BV. You've got to go to a doctor for that. And yet she refuses to. And all it would take to fix that is just getting a script for amoxicillin or something like that. No names here says, girls, stop. You know you've lied the entire time. It's not being negative to call you out for that. It is abusive on your part to demand others get over it because you have, and threatening them with being blocked because they won't simply go along with the false narrative you've concocted. What did I say about Chantal and her members? She claimed that she was in an abusive relationship with Natter. But I feel that she's also got an abusive relationship going on with her own members. She goes to them, she's nice to them, and then she turns around and she's nasty to them. And then she tries to make up for it by being nice and distracting them. That's the definition of an abusive relationship, because that's verbally abusive. She's using verbal abuse. She's using intimidation, manipulation. That is the definition of an abusive relationship. But because they care about Chantal so much, or they're so broken they can't find anywhere else to be on YouTube, they stick around, and she knows that. She knows she's got some messed up people in her audience, and she takes advantage of that. Let's see, next. Agatha says, oh, your stomach has really grown. Enablers, get her a scale for weighing car parts. Quit sending food. This could be her last year. So here's a scary thing, y'all. Burger King just brought back her favorite food, Nashies. Oh, Nashies. And Chantal will sit and eat 2 to 4 of those sandwiches at a time. By doing that, she's consuming 2,000 plus calories in one sitting. And now that they're back, she's going to fixate on the Nashies forever and continue to gain weight. But she is so happy that the Nashies are back, because she literally tweeted Burger King saying, when are the Nashies going to come back? And now that they're back, she's over the moon, because that was her absolute favorite food. So we're going to see live stream after live stream of her going absolutely wild for the Nashies. And those are very calorie heavy sandwiches. And she eats multiple ones at a time. So go ahead, feeders. Start paying for her Nashies, because she's going to go nuts for them. You want to put her in the hospital, that's the way to do it. Melody C says, Pete, it's okay to not want to drive, but have you thought about maybe still becoming more independent, finding your own transportation? Chantal buys food for you, chauffeurs you around. Honest question with no hate intended, but what do you do? Do you bring anything to the equation? He really doesn't. He really doesn't. He's just a useless lump on a log. The only thing he really does for Chantal is if she has to go somewhere, he'll cover for her, lie for her, tell people, oh, you know, she's on a date right now and she's really with Natter. I think the main reason why Chantal keeps Pete around is that he's been around her for so long, he knows all of her dirty, dark secrets. And she knows that. And she doesn't want him blowing up and putting those secrets out there. Also, I think the main reason why Pete does not work is, and Chantal has said this on one of her live streams, that once upon a time when they were together, she really went to town wrecking him financially. She left him in financial ruin, running up credit cards, money, all this stuff. I mean, she really did a number on him. So I think that Pete is staying with Chantal, and he's making a point not to work, not because he's depressed, but because in his own passive-aggressive way, he's getting back some of what he lost when they broke up. Like all that financial ruin she left him in, he's like, you know what? She left me in financial ruin. She owes this to me. She owes this to me. Since she did all that to me, I'm going to make her take care of me. Well, Pete, I don't know if you're getting the memo, bro, but her income is going down. So this little vacation that you've been taking courtesy of Chantal and her income, it's about over, bro. You might want to start looking for a job. You might want to start looking at another place to live because you never know. Chantal might hide everything from you until the 11th hour, and then you find out that you're both getting evicted because the rent ain't been paid. Yeah, you need to start looking for your independence, sir, because Chantal is that one that she will not let you know way ahead of time that things are bad and you can prepare. She is that one that she will hide it, hide it, hide it until she can't hide it anymore. And then there's no time left to do anything. And by the way, Pete, I still think you're a scumbag for the way you treat BBJ. Keep your hands off that cat, you idiot. Anyway, Tixie says, how many days in a row have you worn that bra top? She's been wearing it for days. That bra is dirty, it's sweaty, it's ew, and she keeps wearing it. And sitting there spraying on perfume, and she's wearing a dirty bra that she's sweated in for days that she's worn to bed. Let's see. Truth is Freedom says, your lives of lies and deception are a scary movie for the vulnerable to be grifted off of while you and Nats laugh all the way to the bank. The ones who see through you are not laughing. Your judgment will come from a higher power when all is said and done. I wouldn't want to be you. Well, I'm not one to bring spiritual anything into this, but I do know one thing, that anything you do, you have to answer for it in some way at some point, whether it's in this lifetime, the next lifetime, spiritually. You know, karma works. Karma is the natural system of checks and balances. You write a check, eventually it does have to get cashed. Sydney says, why do you have to say truth lies on RSN stream, but never on your streams? I would never join or support you or D or Toothy. Not a penny ever. Your time is coming. Karma never forgets. No, it doesn't. Let's see. Terminally L says the subs are dropping again. Yes, they are. Okay, so let's move on to live number 2. So here's Chantal, and she's getting her Nashies. I got to turn the volume all the way down because she's playing music. So look, she's so happy. She finally got her Nashies back. She's so incredibly happy. So that's the part, and I just want to show you this one is like her sitting there talking, putting the strips on her nose. Let's move on to the comments section. Moira Zaxi says, Nader doesn't know how to use any of the equipment at the gym. He proved that to all of us when he was with Debbie. Don't be stupid. No, he doesn't know how to use the equipment at the gym. I watched Monty's stream where he was showing Nader at the gym. He wasn't using any of the weights. He wasn't doing the reps properly. He was just zipping through all the machines at light speed. It was ridiculous to watch. Nav says you should be living in a residential home for people with emotional, behavioral, and developmental disabilities. You need constant supervision and should only try living independently once you have acquired some basic skills like hygiene, housekeeping, and time and money management. Until then, you only create chaos for yourself and anyone who, you know, Nabs, I do agree with you. The only way for Chantal to get her life back together is if somebody supervised her and she was under somebody's control. Because if you leave Chantal alone, you know, she goes berserk. She doesn't know how to take care of herself, or if she does, she doesn't care to. Let's just say, for instance, her problem with food. In order to get her problem with food under control, she would have to be in an inpatient facility where she could not leave, be under constant supervision. Her food would have to be monitored. That's the only way she'd be able to not be able to binge out on food and eat correctly. She needs constant supervision for everything. You leave Chantal alone, and she just goes wild. Nina Palmieri says, so excited that Nashies are back. The path to 400 pounds just got as short as your unwashed legs. Let's go. I think Chantal is at 400 pounds, if not over. She's already there. In fact, I think she's closer to 500. Let's see. Not a fan says, goodbye, Paneer, period. Hello, Nashi season. May God have mercy on our souls. You know what? I hated looking at the Nashies when she was eating them like crazy, but I'm so glad that Paneer is back. I'm so sick of looking at that stupid Paneer. Dark Tin 2 says, not a single positive comment from her community speaks volumes. Even the paying members can't find anything to cheer about. She doesn't give anything to cheer about. She doesn't do anything positive. It's not that they don't want to praise Chantal, it's that she's not giving anything they can praise. She lies. She gets in front of her camera. She doesn't do anything. If you want praise, you got to do something praiseworthy. And she doesn't even try anymore. She just comes on camera and does her thing. Casey says she makes those heavy accusations against him, then continuing to bash him and comes back teeter-tottering, saying he's a good guy. You know what she's trying to do with that, y'all? She's trying to push everybody in the direction of forgiving him because she wants him on her channel. She really wants him to be on her channel or to go be on his channel. She really, really wants that. And it irritates the crap out of her that people are being stubborn and resistant and saying, we don't want to see this guy. We don't want to see him. And you can't make us see him. She hates the fact that as far as the live streams go, she has to keep away from him. Oh, El Ballerina says, I bet you anything he lied and told her if she can get her viewers to like him, he would marry her. And she has fallen for that lie. I don't know what was said in private. But here's a theory that I have. For the past week or two, Chantal was doing very short live streams for her. She would come on for an hour, just long enough to eat, and then take off to go see Natter. Now she's constantly live streaming. And I think the reason for that is because her and Natter probably had a talk. And he told her, look, this money that you're giving me is not enough. You're slacking over there. You're slipping. You need to get your butt home and make some money. So he basically banished her at home to live stream all the time to make extra money so that next month he can be happy. So he's all partying with Dee Dee, and Chantal's being punished for not giving him enough money. She's got to stay home now, and she can't be with Natter because she has been slipping with her live stream. She's just been phoning it in, and he's been noticing. Grace Lee says, lymphedema on your face, chin. Love that for you. Oh, she has that? Well, I have been noticing with Chantal, unless it's the filters doing it, she's got what looks like a goiter on one side of her face. Like one side of her face is more swollen, the other that kind of looks like a goiter. I don't know if it's lymphedema, but you know, only a doctor would know that. It could be lymphedema, it could be a goiter, it could be nothing. Only a doctor would know. People are commenting about her face. Miss Power says, is it me or the bottom left side of your face swollen, like around your lymph nodes? I've been noticing that for a while. Like one side is more swollen than the other, and that's why I thought it was a goiter, or it could be lymphedema. Wow. Lily Monster says, those are 800 calories each, and you eat them like it's just a snack. That's a full day of calories for the average female. Yeah, and she'll sit there and eat 2, 3, 4 of them at a time. So let's just say she eats 2 of them. That's 1,600 calories. A female adult woman would need between 1,800 and 2,000 calories for the entire day, depending on how active they are. And here she is consuming, just in one meal, in one sitting, almost all of those calories at once. And you have to know, she's going back to BK to get more and more of those all day. So tell me again how you're losing weight, Chantal. Tell me about that diet you're on. Let's see. People saying she's got a wasted life. So that's it for the Nashies one. Like I said, all she did was eat and put on her room strips. Okay, so we got room beezing. We're going to play a little clip from here where she starts to talk about Natter. Guys, look at her. Do you guys understand now why I'm not showing you the footage of Chantal today? Because she's high in every single one of them. Look at her eyes right here. She's high. Look at her eyes. That's not natural. She is high. I don't want you guys to be exposed to that. I know some of you want me to cover Chantal, but because of her being high all the time and messed up, I refuse to expose you to more than what you have to be. But we're just going to play this small clip of her talking about Natter and move on to the comment section of this video.
Very bad side. Because I was like, hi, who's next? Marriages. I'm not getting married. I just want to look at the dresses and try them on. I should try on wedding dresses when I'm at touring. Time to bees, yay! Oh, of course, sex, yeah. Yes, he has a bad side. He's even said that. He's like, I have a very bad side. Because I was like, it's like everyone has a good and bad side. And I was like, yeah, everyone has a good and bad side. And he's like, I have a very bad side too. He's like, I have a very good side and I have a very bad side.
You got a bad side too. You're vindictive, evil, rotten, manipulating, you lie. You're self-centered, selfish, spoiled, entitled. I could keep going, Chantal. You got a lot of bad qualities. Maybe that's why the two of you get along so incredibly well.
And I'm like, yeah, I have a very good side. Like, everyone can be really good and really bad. It just depends, And we all have our flaws. We all have our mistakes. Me, I'm like, I'm not. I don't know. Is that a slur? I don't.
Let's define what a mistake is and what a choice is. A mistake is running to the grocery store and you mean to pick up a can of beans and you're in a hurry and you go to the bean aisle and you pick up a can and then you pay for it and then you realize when you get home it wasn't beans you picked up, it was a can of corn. That's a mistake. The things that Chantal does are not mistakes. They are life choices. They are choices that she knowingly, willingly, and eagerly makes. Her life is miserable because she chooses for it to be miserable, because she keeps making bad choices. Despite the fact that she's got so many people that care about her and they give her good advice, despite the fact that she's got a family that cares for her, she's got all of everything that she needs for a good life. She's got the income, she's got the means, she's got the tools if she wants them. If she wants help with anything, there are resources and people that would gladly give her help. But she's actively choosing by choice to ignore everything that's good and choose everything that's bad. And for that, I have no sympathy for Foodie Beauty, none at all. Especially considering the fact this woman gets on YouTube and she exploits the pain and suffering of other people for profit. She has no problem doing it. She feels no remorse. It doesn't keep her awake at night. She doesn't cry over it. To her, it's just another way to make money. And I find that beyond disgusting and distasteful. And like I said, Chantal, I see you. I see you for who you are. You are a grifter, just like your little man boyfriend, Mr. My Way. I'm going to expose you both repeatedly for being grifters until everybody gets it and they realize that you're both flim-flam men taking money from people and giving nothing back. You're both scammers. And I'm not going to stop until you stop scamming people.
Sorry, it is. Like an ableist, like, against people with intellectual disabilities. So much stuff, like before when we were like together.
You were never together.
He always wanted to go clubbing. He likes to go clubbing. I hate it.
See, that's the thing. I'm confused, Chantal. Help me here. Help me here. Natter likes to go places. He likes to do things. He likes to get out of the house. He's very energetic that way, or drugged up, whatever the case may be. He's got energy. He's got a lot more energy than you. How can you get mad at him for spending time with Dee Dee and doing things outside the house? When he tried to get you to take a simple walk with him and you threw a tantrum about that. You're mad about him wanting to go out and do things, but yet you are a bedroom potato. You want to sit and veg out in your room and go nowhere. As I said, I don't get it. You want to be with this man, but you will not make changes to where you can go out and do things with him. He will claim you. So it makes me wonder how badly you want to be with Natter. Because if you really, 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 really want to be with Natter, you would take all that enthusiasm that you have for Nashies and you put it into other areas of your life and make changes to where you could actually be with him. And he might claim you, he might do things with you. But if you are so resistant and stubborn to changing yourself, don't be mad at him for finding somebody else that wants to go out and do things.
But when I first met BB, he loved clubbing so bad. And I was still clubbing then, so he and I would go clubbing like every weekend, and it was so fun. It was so fun.
Sorry about that,
You
y'all.
aren't some sweet girl who would never say a mean word about anyone. When did I say that? No bueno. I didn't say that. What? That's so out of left field. I'm like the furthest from a saint. I can be a royal fucking bitch. I can be
We know.
I'm like definitely doesn't want to ride the Ferris wheel with me. That's okay.
I can't imagine Foodie Beauty on a Ferris wheel. And this is not me shaming her weight and her size, but I'm a smaller person and Ferris wheels are scary for me because I've got a fear of heights. But, you know, her being on a Ferris wheel, it might be uncomfortable for her having a bar being placed against her stomach and then being lifted up high in the air, like really, really high. That might be scary for her. Oh, your internet's terrible. Okay, enough with that. You guys get the gist. She's sitting here reminiscing about BB and about Natter. You know, that's making me nauseous. Let's move on. Dave says, if you get married to Natter, you'll still be the side chick. Yeah, she always will be. Natter is not about that life of being monogamous. And because he's a grifter, like I said in my advice video on how to spot grifters and how to get away from them, how to recognize them, grifters do not claim anybody outright because once they do, the game is over. They can't hustle anybody. So even if they got married, she would still be the side chick. It won't be a situation where he puts his status on Facebook as married or in a relationship. He will always claim to be single. So even if she got the ring on her finger, she's not going to get what she wants. She will always be in the shadows, hidden, so that he can continue with his grifting, hustling ways. Chantal, looking at wedding dresses, thinking about a wedding, keep that in your head because it's never going to happen outside of your head. It's just not going to. And if Nader ever married you, I'd be questioning why. Like, is he doing it because he is looking to get some life insurance money if something happens to you? I'm sure he would have ulterior motives for marrying you. He certainly wouldn't be marrying you for love, because all this time that you've been paying for him, he never said, you know what? I love you so much. Stop paying. I'm going to go out, get a job. Don't support me anymore. It's been several months. You're still paying. As a matter of fact, you're probably paying more now than you did before. That's how much he doesn't like you. But go on with your delusions and illusions of grandeur and love. Please do that. Miss L says she thinks getting married will guarantee a life of no longer being lonely. Can I say something about that? I'm someone that I've been married twice, and I'm twice divorced because both my husbands were assholes. They were grifters, they were mooches, hence why I divorced them. But one thing I can tell you, Foodie, from experience, marriage is good, it's great when you've got a partner that you're on equal ground and you love each other and you're both, you know, each other's teammate. But I'll tell you what, marriage is your own personal hell when you're in a marriage where you are unhappy. When you're laying next to somebody in bed at night, and even somebody laying physically that close to you, you feel completely isolated and alone. You can't imagine the sadness. You can't imagine it, the heartbreak, how much it hurts knowing you've got somebody in the house that you love and they don't love you back, and that you feel so far away from them and there's all this invisible distance and you just can't bridge the gap. It sucks. It's better to be alone and single and get your head together and know who you are and be happy than live with somebody and you're living in misery. You wake up every day to that person and they're a stranger, or there's no intimacy, there's no romance, there's no love. Trust me, trust and believe, Foodie. Marriage is hell when it's not really a marriage. When it's just two people living together and there's no love and everything is just silent misery. You're either fighting all the time or you're so angry that you don't bother to fight. I don't know which of those two areas you and Nada would fall into. I would imagine because the two of you are so fiery, you would be that couple fighting and bickering all the time. What you're dreaming of, you will never get. You'll never get it. If you're not happy together now, right now, before the ceremony, it's not going to change after the ceremony. Miss Blackwood says, oh God, I hope she gets married. Imagine Nader having full control over her money. And that's exactly why he would marry Foodie. I can just see it right now. They would get married, and then Nader would lay down the law. I'm your husband. I'm your man. We went through the ceremony. You're going to give me all of your paycheck, and I will give you what I think you deserve, what I think you need, and the rest is mine. He would do that. He would make that happen. He would take full control of Foodie. Full control. Sag Ascending says, Nader is working the crap out of you and Dee Dee. Absolutely. He's got a place to live with Dee Dee. He's got money from Chantal. He's working both ends very successfully. Not a fan says, also something I do that you might find helpful or not. Instead of talking about my relationship with, or especially trauma dumping on, the people in my life, if I have things I want to say or talk about with someone about stuff like that, I just write them all down so I don't forget. Then at therapy, I pull out the notebook and discuss the ones I still want to talk about with my therapist. That's what they're there for. And it protects you and your significant other from the judgment and scrutiny of people in your life. And no people demand follow-up info for things you otherwise would have dumped on them. It helps keep your relationship with friends and family on good terms, not doing to them what you've been doing to your Beezer's audience for the past year. You should start doing this, except I don't think you have a therapist at the moment, or if you do, you on paper, you don't see them in actual practice. You should start. Yeah, Chantal She purposely trauma dumps on people, and she treats her YouTube channel like her own personal private diary. And the thing is, this is not a diary. This is some, this is not the place for all of her problems, all of her issues, all of her whatever else. She wants an audience for all of her pain, and that's just not correct. I've had stuff happen to me in my life, but I'm not going to get on my channel and trauma dump on everybody. And trust me, if you guys knew half the stuff that I've been through, you'll be shocked. But I have enough respect for my audience that I'm not going to get on my YouTube channel and trauma dump on people and maybe trigger people with some of the things that I've been through. I understand that people are people, they are emotional, they feel, they have a sense of empathy, and whatever energy you put out, people will respond to. But again, empathy is something that Chantal lacks. She doesn't look at what she's doing as wrong. She looks at it as just something she's doing to make money. Cougar really says, how are you going to marry someone you cannot spend more than a day with? As long as he fakes love you, right? Yeah, she and Natter can't spend more than a day together, and she wants to get married to this dude? Chantal, listen. From an ex-married woman perspective, can I tell you that seeing somebody every once in a while is a different dynamic than moving in with them and living with them? The dynamic changes, the energy changes. Because once you move in with somebody, there goes all your privacy. You got to share your space with another person. You have to move around them. You got to live around them. You got to deal with all of the little things that maybe you like or you don't like, any habits that they might have, like leaving the toilet seat up or leaving their dirty clothes on the floor or not washing the dirty dishes. You have to deal with that. You know, in a marriage, there is such a thing as compromise. And when you're married, you have to learn to pick your battles. What is worth arguing and fighting over and what isn't? Like what can you talk about? What can you work out through simple discussion versus just losing your temper and causing a big fight, which leads to a lot of bad energy that later on you're going to have to deal with. Marriage is a lot, and you're not ready for it. You don't have the maturity for it. Trust me, you don't. Fanny V says, checking wedding dresses while your man won't claim you or bring you on a date like you did with Dee Dee. How pathetic. Yeah, she's over there dreaming. She's over there looking at wedding dresses on Torrid. I don't care if she buys a wedding dress. She may put it on. I honestly think she's looking at the wedding dresses on Torrid because she knows the reaction channels are watching and she's doing it for us. But honestly, Chantal, you looking at wedding dresses, all of us knowing the situation with Natter, it just looks sad. It just looks sad. We know that the two of you are unhappy together, so what's the point of the wedding dress when the wedding won't even happen? Oh, N2 Surgery says BBJ has been going to that bowl looking for something. Does she even put out clean water upstairs or downstairs? Y'all, don't get me started on BBJ and the way she treats those cats. So in one of the lives that I just covered, there's a part that I purposely did not cover because I do not want to upset anyone. There's a part where Chantal and Pete get in the car and Pete says that Sam is pooping in the kitchen because the litter boxes need to be cleaned. So they both left the house and the litter boxes are dirty and the cats are doing their business on the kitchen floor. Yeah, that's the part that happened. I didn't want to cover, but I do feel sad for the cats. Don't get me started. You know how I feel. You know that I'm cursing around my head right now thinking about that. If YouTube did not have rules, I'd be using some bad words. Very, very bad words. Freedom Smith says, you say you exaggerated the essay. Is you falling on your own sword, trying to make him look better than VIBs? You feel if you can have their approval and him, then your world will be complete. A hug box, a user, and Nashies makes your world go round. Completely pathetic. Yeah, she wants those simple things. She wants Natter. She wants her Nashies. She wants her hug box. And you're leaving out a very important part. She wants the money. She wants people to start tipping her the way that they were, her financial situation to go back the way that was. I hope it never does, Miss Grifter. I hope it never goes back the way it was. In fact, I hope it starts to decline. And then you might get it through your head, you need to do something. Let's see, next. Wow. Lily Munster said she just ate 1,600 calories 2 hours ago. Yep, those Nashies are going to start adding up. Let's see. Sassy says, wow, we are watching you lose your mind in real time. Update now, watching your next live singing songs after songs for Natter while your VIBs make fun of you. Reality, as most people know, is gone for you. Please practice a song. They are coming to take me away. They're coming to take me away. Haha. Honestly, I think somebody should put her away for a little bit for her own protection because she's hurting herself. Let's see. So there are no supportive comments here. Very few. Everybody just getting on her. And can you blame them? Look what she's doing in these lives. She's not doing anything positive. She's coming on camera high, talking almost nostalgically about Natter. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Anyway, I'm done with this react. Like I said, I condensed all three together with the comments. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment yourself. Thanks for watching and have a good one. Bye-bye.